Hello and welcome back to the RSL Corner podcast. This is our second episode ever. How you boys doing?
Good.
Dude, I'm doing great, man. It's a great weekend.
We are recording on Sunday night, roughly about 24 hours after LA Galaxy faced off against Real Salt Lake in Carson, California. I'm your host, Charlie. I'm here with
Oliver.
And Ethan.
And let's just hop right into that game review. Ethan, can we get the lineup?
So we're playing our regular 4-2-3-1. Chicho at 9 as always. Luna on the 11. Gomez at 7. Crooks center attacking mid at 10. Ojeda and Anelli in our center defensive lineup. Center defensive mid lineup. We got Catranis on the left, Hidalgo on the right, and Quinton and Galad as our center defenders. Bit of a switch up there with Quinton. How do we feel about that?
Felt good. I mean, he played the full 90 against New Mexico, so kind of a surprise with him coming in. I feel like after playing that 90, and I don't know, I feel like there was just overall feeling that he didn't play that well against New Mexico, but we'll get into it. But he definitely surprised me this game.
Yeah, I will say it was good to have Crooks back in the starting lineup as well.
True. Yeah, we did not have Crooks last game.
For sure. I think he's a great fit in the midfield right there. I think he really helps out on defense and gets the attack going on the counterattacks very well.
I agree.
Yes, we also did have McMath in goal, which Ethan forgot to mention, but
bad, guys.
No, you're good. Oliver, let's hop right into the first half.
So basically, we were coming into Dignity Health Sports Park with not having a win there since 2017, which is
Sheesh.
pretty crazy. Basically, it just started off with a lot of Puig and Paint Cell powering against us on the attacking half.
Ricky Pooj, baby.
And it just came up. There was some big save by Catranis. I thought McMath played really well, and we got it right from last time with Philip Quinton. And that man is a tall man.
Quinton is huge. Skinny, but he's tall. He's a beast.
Yeah.
I feel like the first 15 minutes, I think all three of us were we literally sat down and we were like, oh, it's going to be one of these games. Like, we were just waiting to concede. I feel like there were a lot of mistakes in that midfield, but it led to a defensive masterclass, I feel like, in that first 20 minutes. Like, I know we allowed a lot of shots, but nothing was going in the back of the net for LA Galaxy.
I thought Quinn was a really big surprise there. I think he really showed us what he can do as center back.
Yeah, he looked comfortable.
15 minutes.
Like it was like night and day difference from that New Mexico Open Cup game to this game.
How do we feel like he's going to transition when we have Vera back?
I think he's a good.
I think he's a good depth.
sub.
I think he's a good depth piece. I feel like he just offers that good backup center back that we need, and I feel like this game was a huge stepping stone for if we lose Gladivera to injury later this season.
Oh yeah. Do you feel like he could go anywhere else? Like we could use him other places?
No, I like him back there. I think he's comfortable back there. He was giving comms. He looked good out there.
Yeah, I like him paired with Glad. And then another thing to mention is Andrew Brody subbing into that game after Bodie comes out in the 16th minute with an injury, which, you could say I don't think Brody had that good of a game, so it would have been
I wish Bodie was healthy that whole game because Bodie is he seems very injury prone. I feel like he's always going down, and I don't know. I love Bodie and Brody, but
homegrown.
It was a bummer not to see Hidalgo finish this one.
I agree. And then we'll get right into it with Chicho having a really good header in the 19th minute from Catranis, and it's just amazing watching Ojeda get it wide for this goal to happen. And
yeah, beautiful goal. And it honestly came out of nowhere. I think with the group we were watching the game with, we felt the attack from LA Galaxy, and to put one in this early, like, it got us on our feet. It was exciting.
Oh yeah, he absolutely powered over the defender.
Yes.
Just got over him like Randy Moss. It was awesome.
That was Maya Yoshida on that. Their captain, actually, and he was marking Chicho, and I think Chicho is. He looks like he's a few inches shorter than Yoshida, and he looked like Randy Moss out there. He rised up like a salmon baby.
Those goals are so entertaining to watch, and Chicho's had like almost 4 of them this season. It's just
that was just gorgeous. His headers, man, they're lethal.
Yep, and then we go into a yellow card for Crooks in the 22nd. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think, let's see. Those are one yellow card of the game.
Really?
I think that's great because, I mean, we've struggled. I think we know how to manage when to bring the energy and when to bring that heat, but to have one yellow card, I think was huge.
I will say there was one game we had like 6, so it's definitely good to see.
Yes.
And then we got in the 40th minute, we have Chicho with another amazing goal with the 1-2 goal from Andres Gomez. And I know Ethan is dying to talk about Andres Gomez. Let's hear it.
I really like Andres Gomez, honestly. I think he's such a versatile winger. I think first of all, his 1v1 dribbling is very, very good. You saw a lot of that kind of master class this game, taking on who was it on the defense? I don't remember who it was.
I
feel like there were a lot of options, or not options.
Aude.
Yeah, a lot of times where he was beating him.
Aude.
A lot of times where he beat him on the 1v1 and gave either good looks, good crosses, or just had the right idea going. I think he has good off-ball movement too, and I like that he can be versatile and play left or right wing.
Yeah, no, Gomez just absolutely smoked that 21-year-old left back. Like I said, Julian Aude, he just Gomez cooked him. If you watch the replay, he just absolutely beat him to get that ball, and nobody marked Chicho. I heard a lot about the young American Jalen Neal.
Yep, I was just gonna bring that up. What are your thoughts on him? I honestly didn't know too much going into that, but
coming into the game, I listened to this LA Galaxy podcast that featured a member from the RSL Show podcast, and I feel like they were hyping him up. They said to be fair, he is 20
years old.
Definitely his biggest challenge this season, marking Chicho. And first half, I couldn't even find him on the field. It just Chicho seemed to bully him a little bit, but
yeah, I think that's. I mean, I feel like Chicho isn't even phased at this point with his matchups. He doesn't care about that stuff. He always rises to the occasion.
I'm never worried anymore.
I'm never. I think we're gonna have to just keep him. I really hope we do, because he's the number 9 we needed.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but he did come off in this game, Chicho. He did play a little bit against New Mexico. I know he's playing a lot of minutes. Pablo has him in, I think, every other game this season. He's played the full 90. So it'll be interesting to see if he will start this Wednesday against Seattle. But, he looked great in that first half. I mean, he got his 11th goal, tying the league-high 11 goals from Suarez and Benteke. I mean, a brace in the first half for Chicho is huge. I feel like this season around the MLS, there's just been pure goal scorers, and it's just nice to have someone that can compete.
I know, and seeing Benteke get that hat trick today, see Suarez had a goal or two, and I just was like, wow, Chicho's.
I know.
He's gonna have
to be honest, we didn't think he could keep up with that, and he scored 2.
Surprised us every game
in the first half.
Either had a hat trick or a brace. I mean, he's got a goal every 97 minutes.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think he's really our shining star. He could get the MVP this year. That would really put us on the map.
If he just keeps going, and then another Catranis assist is also huge. That is his 3rd assist on the season, with 2 goals to his name as well, and Gomez with another assist. Those 3 guys, they keep the goal contributions coming.
I think Gomez is just getting better every single game, and they're just playing up the middle so much with confidence.
Yeah, it was great.
But another thing I really loved was Ricky Puig and Emeka chirping.
Oh yes,
after running back from
Anelli stood his ground. I love Anelli. His confidence, you can just see it on the field.
Oh yeah,
he'll talk to anybody. We will now transition into the second half. First 10 minutes, LA Galaxy came out strong, but I feel like RSL was still holding that lead pretty well. There was a few mistakes that we couldn't capitalize on in the first half, and that continued in the second, where we just caught them lacking in the back, but couldn't put them away. There was one I remember from Gomez. But 54th minute comes around. Luna and Chicho have a little bit of a miscue, and they lose the ball, which is played up quickly to Ricky Puig, and Ricky Puig just finds Gabriel Peck. Brody was caught ball watching, which is very unfortunate. He just completely lost track of Gabriel Peck and focused all on Ricky Puig. And Peck just slots it past McMath. McMath gets a hand on it, but it's got to be better keeping than that if he wants to keep that out of the net. So they go down 1. And it's scary sights for RSL because this game, they almost doubled our shots, and it was just scary from the start that we knew that they were gonna score.
Yep, and I think LA Galaxy did a good job in this offseason getting some really good players.
Yeah.
Peck and Paintsill were amazing additions.
Yep. One thing we forgot to mention in the first half, we all saw Paintsill, the Ghanaian, he's great, but he had a few just point blank range misses.
They should have almost been 4-0.
Yeah, he should have had 3 goals in this game. I'm surprised he didn't. He just, I don't know. He had a rough showing from 2 feet out sometimes. I mean, it's great defending on our part, on RSL's part, but it was just I don't know. It was we got lucky on those. I guess we'll fast forward now to the 71st minute. I remember this McCarthy, the keeper from LA Galaxy, from their own from their back third. He ripped a long ball to Paintsel. Paintsel absolutely smoked Brody. The announcer said Brody was there toe for toe, but if you watch the replay, Paintsel definitely beat Brody and did get a shot on McMath, and he absolutely skied it, which was another just surprise. Like, I thought he was going to put that one past it to tie it up, but he didn't.
I agree. I've watched a lot of LA Galaxy games this year, and I mean, Painsel's so great at creating those opportunities. It's just like he needs to just learn to finish a little bit better.
Yep.
But I will say, I was when I was watching the ticker with Ethan on FOTMob, and we were looking at all the subs. When we start subbing all those guys, and we're up only one, like it scares me every time, and I knew they were going to get another goal.
Yeah.
I mean, defensively, we couldn't have played a better last 30 minutes besides that last minute, which we'll talk about. But I mean, I was standing up. It was scary. Like, every time I was like, clear it. And then luckily Julio came in and he brought some pressure to that back line to make some mistakes, and they didn't really get what they want. They couldn't get what they wanted. It looked good. I thought we were going to squeak out of here with a win, but in the 94th minute, after some sloppy clearances from the back line, it's a nice ball. Ricky Pooge just swings it in, and Barry, I believe, he gets a right foot on it, and it just trickles into the net. People are going to blame McMath, and there's a lot of comments blaming McMath for this goal. And I know it's easy to blame him, but he did play a great game. I know he should have come out a little bit more, but we just shouldn't put ourselves in those positions in the first place. And I think it was just like, what do you guys think? Do you think this is McMath's fault solely, or?
I think it also has to do with Quentin a little bit. I feel like that was his position, and he just wasn't there to get there. But honestly, it's on both of them. The ball is right in the middle of them.
It was just a gut punch.
I agree.
To be up 2-0 at halftime. But, I mean, people really say, like, we lost 2 points here. And, like, time-wise and statistically we did. But, like, they outshot us. They outplayed us.
I think they lost the 2 points.
Yeah, they had more possession. They had more expected goals. They had almost double our shots. They missed less big chances. They had more accurate passes. They had less fouls committed. They had less offside. They had more offsides. But 12 corners to 3, which is just, I don't know. I think we squeak out of here with 1 point. I mean, going into that last minute, I was like, holy crap, we're actually going to get 3 points here in LA. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential from this game for the season going on. Like, we created so many opportunities and we made them mess up so much. I think a lot of goals and good will come from it.
I agree. It's better than a loss. I will just say, though, like, when you're up 2-0, I'm feeling so good, and to walk out there with a tie almost is, like, just devastating.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
That's why I feel like we need the insurance of a third goal, because two is it feels good, but it's never certain. Yeah. 3 is really you feel like you're certain.
You gotta get that 3. You gotta get that 3-goal lead, especially up 2-0. Like,
exactly.
With that shutout coming down the line, you want that shutout. You want to. It's just tough. So who's your guys' MVP of this game?
I'm going to give mine to Ojeda. I just feel like Ojeda is so good at distributing that ball. And my favorite thing is just watching him turn that ball around and switch it to the other side. And, you know, he obviously – there's been talk about him not having, like – I like that he's getting shots in the game, you know. He skies him most of the time, but, you know, like –
He did have a good look. He had a good look this game.
I think if we didn't have Ojeda and Emeka, I think we'd be in a lot worse shape.
Yeah, that midfield's very strong this year. And people always talk about our defending and our attack, and I think it's just a really well-rounded team. I mean, with a few mistakes from McMath, I think it's just, I don't know. We look scary, I feel like. Ethan, who is your MVP?
I'm going to go defensively. I'm going Katranis. Him being very comfortable in that position and knowing his role is very helpful in that defense, especially with a new player like Quentin.
You do got to admit it's a little scary with how high he plays up, though.
Yeah. Him as a fullback is, like, I think it's a very good position, but there's a lot of times where I see him either not coming back on defense and we only have 3 defensive players, or he really doesn't get anything on offense, and then we're just kind of screwed on the counterattack.
I do feel comfortable, and I trust him, but sometimes he is just hauling back.
Yeah,
and we're like,
I agree.
He gets gassed.
It's just hard. Like, that the counter, someone's going to beat us that way, and I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
I really liked what you were saying though during the game, Charlie said, because Vera's more used to playing with Katranis, obviously. So it's like when Katranis is up there, I feel like Philip Quinn didn't know like to stay back as much because Katranis is up a lot, and I don't know.
He trusts Vera.
There was an amazing Katranis save though in like the 5th or 6th minute, which was amazing for him to just be back there, and it was good to see him get that save.
Yeah.
But like he is really not. He's really up most of the time. So
Yeah, I think that's a good example of just obviously Vera was out because of yellow card. And I just think it's a good example to always keep strong, like, central defensive players that know the team, know the players they're playing with, are very used to it. And keeping those two specifically, I think, is very important in a team, having not subbing them. Because they play, I mean, obviously they play a lot of minutes and they get very tired, but it's very good for the defense.
exactly. Do you think we would have walked out with a different outcome if Vera played? Or do you think it didn't really matter that much?
I don't think it came into play too much. I mean, Quinton
Yeah.
surprised me, and I think that last goal wasn't really Quinton's fault. There's a lot that goes into it, but I think it's more opinion based. For my MVP, I will go Chicho with an 8.9 FOTMOB rating, 2 goals to his name. It was just like first
Hard to
20
say.
minutes that defense was carrying, and then Chicho put that attack on his back, and just to put 2 goals in within 20 minutes is just like huge. And that's why he's the leader, and that's why he's the captain of this team.
He deserves it. He's the best.
Oh, yeah.
And so RSL leaves with 1 point. We will still remain that first place spot in the West, but we are 2 games ahead of Minnesota and only 2 points ahead.
Right.
So it just takes one win for them and they beat us. But other than that, we're looking good. We're still 2 points ahead of the Galaxy, who are in third with the same amount of games played.
And we got a game coming up really soon.
Yep.
So
Yes.
Yep.
Lots of MLS. It's awesome. We actually just finished earlier today watching the Sounders Portland game.
Which was a great, entertaining in the first 20.
Great. I mean, rivalry week, it's just the best. All these rivalry games are awesome. I would like to revisit our predictions from last game. I'd like to give myself a pat on the back for guessing 2-2. I guess that gives me a point for the year. Oliver with 1-2 and Ethan with 2-0.
All pretty good predictions.
I'm not even gonna lie.
We went through
I
all
kinda
stages.
forgot we were away, so I feel like I would have changed it if I had remembered.
Hey man,
that.
we're
do play
amazing
well
on the
away.
way. We're amazing away.
Yeah, Oliver
But,
had me.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys feel like this was a loss of 2 points, or do you think we earned that 1 point?
No, I still think we earned that 1 point. I think if you look at the whole game, no. If you look at parts of the game, we didn't really deserve it. I don't know. I think if you look at the big picture, I think we're still fine taking away that 1 point.
Yeah.
Shared points is better than none, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know. I think we put the league on notice again this week. I feel like we just created a lot of opportunities. There was there was a few giveaways that LA Galaxy had that we couldn't put away. But if we just make those, Andres Gomez had one where he just should have. He has a hard time knowing when to shoot and when to pass, and in this instance he did pass it where I thought he should have shot it and it could have been a goal, but.
Yeah, and I think Luna needs to he needs to be more selfless.
I agree. I think he's got a great shot on him, and
I agree.
I think he's already proved himself that he can do stuff like that, and I just think, I agree that he needs to be more selfless.
He just passes it, like almost like I don't know, like I totally get it, like like it's a good pass, but sometimes I'm just like I wish you would just like rip it.
Because he's so good. It was good to see Fidel Barajas come into this game.
Yep. I agree. And Palacio.
I think Palacio played okay. Luna and Fidel. I meant Julio and Fidel. Excuse me. I like them as our subs. I feel like when we need a sub 2 in the attack, those guys come in. They bring the energy, especially in a game like this when we're not necessarily trying to find that third goal and we're kind of parking the bus, kind of just trying to squeak out of here with a win. I think they did their part on the attacking side.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on subs, I don't really want to. I want to see more from Quinn. I kind of don't want to see him just
fall off
and
not see the
put
pitch.
into a sub and not on the pitch as much. I want to see more out of him. So I hope that Pablo finds a way for him to fit more into the squad.
Maybe he'll kill it in practice and take. I don't know.
Vera, I miss Vera. I'm excited for him to come back. He took a week off. He better be.
He's a fighter.
He better be in the best shape.
Good rest for his.
He better be in the best shape of his life. He's got 2 big games this week. I guess we could just transition into that Seattle preview. RSL will host the Seattle Sounders this Wednesday, May 15th. Excuse me.
I'm
at
pumped.
America First Field. It's a Wednesday night game. We haven't had a home game on a Wednesday this year.
That's what I'm excited about.
You
I
always
love
excited?
Wednesday games. I love Wednesday games. I think they're. I think the midweek games, just super fun.
It is a school night for Ethan. Will you be making it out this?
Oh, I'll be making it out for sure, for sure.
Good stuff.
For the pod, I got to make it out.
We're looking forward to it. Ethan, do you want to kind of just give us some little preview for this game?
So, RSL hosting Seattle. Already a good look for us. Last time we played in the group stage Leagues Cup, RSL won 3-0. Sava, Chicho, and Rubio all scored, which were my goats from last year. It's just a great lineup. I miss Sava already.
Me too.
Don't miss his drama.
We've played them a total of 42 times. RSL having the upper hand, winning 17. Seattle winning 16 of those. Going into this, I think I'm glad we have a higher win probability. We got 41 to Seattle's 38 and a draw of 21%. I think RSL definitely has, I'm not going to say has, I think we definitely will come out with a win. I think not just looking at their position on the table, but seeing their highlights, and I think we definitely do. This is a win we should get.
Yeah, I think we have a total advantage. I mean, Sounders, they haven't been doing too good. They had that amazing Argentine come in, who's really young, De La Vega, and he's out for a long time.
I remember watching their first game of the season. I liked them. It's injuries kill, man. RSL coming in 8 league games in a row unbeaten.
Wow.
An amazing streak. Knock on wood. Seattle coming in unbeaten in their last 3 with 2 losses prior to that to DC and Vancouver. They're coming off a big win against their rival Timbers today and a 0-0 draw to LA Galaxy. I just think it's hard for them. They had Rui Diaz play almost the entire game today. And Sunday to Wednesday is not a long time, so we might see him come off the bench.
He's their goal scorer. He's like at 33, him being their goal scorer is.
He's their
He's got 7 on the season.
Exactly.
Wow.
But we'll just see what lineup they come out with, because I know people are going to be tired from the game today, and they also have a game this upcoming Saturday, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. It's always fun playing Seattle, and especially if we can get this win at home, it's gonna be
huge.
We're gonna be feeling good.
We can keep this streak going.
Yeah.
Specifically, getting I know it's far down the line, but getting a really good high seed for playoffs is, I think,
ideal.
That's a big change for us.
Now, let me pose the question. Do you think any players won't play against Seattle? Because I could definitely see Pablo choosing this game as to get some younger guys out there, get some of the B team out there, just because we do have the Rapids at home this Saturday. Do you think we should prioritize this Wednesday game against Seattle, or do you think we should throw out the A team against Colorado on Saturday, or both? I know it's hard to.
I'd rather win the Colorado game, but just because of
It's the rivalry.
But
Gotta get our get back.
I hope everyone can just play who we've had going, because I know if Bodie, I hope Bodie's back, and if not, hopefully he's back for Colorado. I think also a good player to mention is Tommy Silva.
Yep.
Good depth piece maybe coming in. He's really young as well.
He played well.
That was his debut too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his MLS debut. I think it's hard to say this specifically. I think that we should treat every game as an important game.
I agree. When you stop doing it, it never works.
Because, I know it was a USL team, but playing our B team and seeing that performance with players that have never really played with each other in the field.
And it just questions whether the Real's taking the U.S. Open Cup seriously.
Exactly. Dominated by a USL team is a little embarrassing in some ways, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we should treat most games not as a final, but as an important match. And I think we should keep specific players, especially our center defenders in that squad.
I agree. I think that's our most important, to keep those 2 guys in the
Prioritizing
back.
certain games over others, I just don't. Unless it's something like Open Cup, I guess. But like prioritizing certain MLS games over others, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking at the injury report, Seattle Sounders look to only have 3 players out, with us having 5, but 4 of those, being season-ending injuries, most likely. So injury-wise, Bodie should be good, and I would love to see him get the start.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But let's get right into some predictions. Who you guys got winning Real versus Seattle Sounders this Wednesday?
I want to I think I'm just gonna go 3-1.
3-1.
I really want some goals to happen, and
Yeah.
I just think, like you were saying, with that insurance of that third goal, if we can get 3-1, it's gonna make for a great home game. So I really want 3-1, and I think we can do it.
I agree. I think I was gonna go 3-1, but I think I'm gonna go 2-1 on this.
Okay.
I think Chicho will get another goal, and I think I want to see Gomez get an assist too. I really like Gomez, so I think he's gonna get an assist.
I like that. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we can. I think that Galaxy game should just be can put our team on notice that no lead is safe.
Yeah.
And I think we need to come out guns blazing and beat the Sounders.
Yeah, and I think the Galaxy are a much better team than the Sounders. I do not see the Sounders.
They're creeping up the table. Sounders started off this season pretty poorly. They are working their way back with only a +1 goal differential and only 13 points, but I don't think they're any team to take lightly.
Some rumors about a large summer signing too as well. So
For the Sounders?
yeah, so we'll see.
Who do you guys think is gonna score in this game?
I'm thinking we get one from Chicho,
Yes, we have to.
unless he comes off the bench. I'm thinking goals from Gomez, and I'd love to see Luna get another one. I do hope we can see a Fidel Barajas first MLS League game goal. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Coming into this one, especially with our attack, just not knowing who is going to start that game, I think it'd be cool for Fidel to get his first one.
Yeah, it was so fun seeing him scoring that USL matchup. So
Yeah, so we want to see more of that.
What about a nice Xavier Gozo goal?
Xavier Gozo goal, man.
Because he's concussion right now, right? But maybe he'll be back for this Wednesday game as a sub.
Yeah. Seattle Sounders sitting at 10th in the West with Real at first. Should be a great game. Hopefully we can see a sellout crowd this Wednesday and this Saturday. I think everyone is showing up. They know RSL's the real deal this year, and it's getting exciting. I would like to mention some rankings around the U.S. We have ESPN's Power Rankings with Real Salt Lake at second in the league, coming up 4 spots from 6th. They right after toppling the last undefeated team in the league the previous weekend against Philadelphia. RSL followed up with a 1-0 victory against Sporting Kansas City. This is previous to our most recent match day. But
You'd love to see it.
I could see us staying at 2 or moving down to 3 due to FC Cincinnati creeping up and beating their rival Columbus and going over.
Columbus lost.
Yeah, I just said Cincinnati beat Columbus.
Sorry.
With MLS's power rankings, which we know include a little bit of bias, they did have us at 3rd, which is great to see. I think the league is loving Chicho Arango and what he's doing for our club. I could see us moving down to 4th, but I mean it's great that the MLS is just showing what RSL is doing and making sure everyone knows.
And I know both ESPN and MLS power rankings are different for some reason, and I have no clue why. But it's really good to see RSL have recognition and be in the top 5. And like you just said, with that big Ohio rivalry, I think it was good to see. It was good to see Columbus lose one.
Yeah, Columbus. They've been funny this season. Like they've been they literally haven't won a league game in 7 weeks.
But they're winning all their.
But then
ones.
they're beating Monterrey and going to the Champions Cup final. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they are the reigning champs, so I got to put respect to their name. We'll now pass it over to Ethan after some MLS and RSL talk to promote the Premier League Minute. This is where he will talk about the English Premier League.
I'm going to give you all your important EPL news as fast as I can, starting with Arsenal, who leave Old Trafford with a nail-biting win, just a 1-0 win at Manchester United. Havertz receiving a ball over the top and avoiding the offside trap from Casemiro, rushing into the penalty box and laying a ball to Trossard on a plate, who hammered it home for Arsenal, who's come up clutch for us all season. I love Trossard, which brings the title race down to the final match week. Arsenal with 1 game left, City in second place with 2. City walk away from Fulham with just a dominant win, of course, as if anybody was expecting anything else. Fulham in stoppage time getting a red card, just capping off a bad day for Fulham's defense, unfortunately. A couple Arsenal players on Fulham who wish they could bring something back home for the boys, but that's okay. Tottenham triumph over Burnley 2-1, condemning Vincent Kompany's Burnley to relegation, unfortunately. Spurs hosting...
Dude Perfect's Premier League team has been relegated.
Unfortunately. Spurs hosting City in their next fixture with, ironically, many Gooners fans in support of them as they are one of Arsenal's last hopes of winning this year's title.
You think they can do it?
I think Tottenham. I think it would be the most.
I think that's the best chance they got.
Yeah.
Wait, they played Tottenham and West Ham, right?
Yeah, they played Tottenham and West
Come
Ham.
on, you Lions.
I think it'd be the most Tottenham thing to lose to everybody as they have the last few weeks, and then somehow beat City.
That would be awesome.
I mean, as hard as it is for me to say, I want Tottenham to win. I really want Tottenham to win. I'll be celebrating all their goals. Arsenal sitting on top by 1 point with 1 game to go. City in second with 2 games.
It's tight.
Tottenham and Villa fighting for a spot in the Champions League this next season. Aston Villa are in 4th by 6 points, meaning they would have to lose both their games, and Tottenham would have to win both for them to make it to the Champions League. But if not, they still make it to the Europa League. I guess a good turnout for Tottenham either way. I mean, that's all I got for you guys.
That's awesome, dude. It is crazy how much hate Kai Havertz gets, but he has the amount of assists. He has the same amount of assists for Arsenal in one season that he had for Chelsea in 3 years.
And he's got way more goals for Arsenal this season as well. I mean, I remember at the beginning of the year when we signed him, the people that praise him now were doubting him back then.
I love Kai.
I mean, he just received so much hate. And then I remember his first goal, it was a penalty. Saka already I think he had 1 in the game.
I love this.
And he decided to hand the ball off to Havertz to boost his confidence, get him a goal, and it was just rolling from there.
Get him in the goal-scoring department.
And that's all from Odegaard, them using captain.
Yep. I mean, I love Odegaard for so many different reasons, and that's definitely one of them.
Transitioning over to the Utah Royals news, they did fall to Chicago Red Stars today, 3-1.
Shocker.
With Cameron Tucker scoring 1 goal. It's good to see a goal, but
it is.
I mean, it's our first season, but we definitely got to get into some better form.
We got to put Brecken Malzingo in that starting lineup, dude.
I'd have to agree. Now, in other Utah news, the Utah Jazz earned the 10th overall pick in the draft. I mean, coming that the Atlanta Hawks earned the number 1 pick with a 3% chance.
Which
you kind of wish the Jazz.
That's crazy.
You kind of wish the Jazz could have gotten a top 5 or maybe a top 3 even, but top 10's okay. This draft class is pretty weak. Not too much news regarding NHL and the Utah Utes lacrosse team.
Getting
some
eliminated.
Spontaneous news fall to Duke University. In the first round
glad they made the tournament.
They did win the ASUN.
It's still good for them to make the tournament. I mean, they've been a program 6 years, winning their conference twice, and making it to a tournament is still a very good thing for them. It's still very good turnout.
Other Utah Utes news: their football team signed a basketball player from Baylor,
Caleb,
which is pretty cool. I saw that article and I was like, "What is going on?" But yeah, football season should be good. There's not too much Utah sports news following the second week of May, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That Jazz pick it's good to have a top 10. I'm excited to see what we get because last year we got Keontae George and Hendricks, but I'm hoping to get someone who's gonna ball.
I feel like the last 2 years have been kind of like rebuilds for the Jazz, not anything too serious.
But they can't like always get like the best. Like I mean, like there's always other guys who are lower or a little bit higher who are like they could have.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, this draft class is weak, but I think there's a lot of good role players in here.
Saying that, there's
Jared McCain, without any bias, he's a great player. I would love to see him come to Utah and some other players that
Dalton
think
Connect.
Yeah, I think there can be some breakout stars in this draft pick. I think it's just all in what Danny Ainge decides and
hopefully he's cooking up.
How many
faith in him, brother.
How many rounds are in the lottery?
It's just the first
10 of the lottery
picks.
Okay.
And so they'll pick them with that ping pong ball, and then we got two rounds up, a round and a half.
Yeah, there's just 2 rounds in the NBA draft total.
Cool. Nice.
That's really good.
That will wrap up our second episode here at RSL Corner Podcast. Thank you for all the love and support on the Instagram, and YouTube, and Spotify. Make sure to check us out at the RSL Corner. Comment down below what you guys think of the new set. We're looking to be adding more stuff over here, but we got the scarves up, we got the ball, the signed ball from last year's squad. Yeah, things are getting exciting, and we'll see you after the Seattle game.
All right, see you guys next time.